Hi, I'm Jasmine Martinez.
And I'm Jessica Jefferson, and we are at Borderlands offices, rather than theaters, talking to Alida, Wilson-Gunn.
So before we get started today, I was wondering what exactly is your role within the whole Borderlands Theater team? Yeah.
I am their education outreach and community outreach person. I design the curriculum that we do for education outreach, the workshops. I conduct the workshops. I write the plays for the education outreach programs, and I do a lot of the community outreach.
How exactly did you get involved?
Originally, I never set out to necessarily work for a theater company. I was deciding what I wanted to do in my life. I was kind of looking into engineering, and but theater was always my first love. I'd been on the stage since I was 7 and couldn't get it out of my blood, and I started as an actress with the company, and a position came up in their administrative offices, and I took it, and then I took over the program and grew it.
Okay. Were there any recent plays that happened that you can tell us about?
Sure. Borderlands Theater is a very politically active theater company. It's very important to us to be involved in what is happening in our own communities. We're not someone who the content of our plays, we feel like, should reflect the community that we are in. If the faces that are around us outside here should be the faces that we are seeing on stage. We're one of the few theater companies in the country that employs people of color on a regular basis. In almost every single show that we do, we have people of color on stage, because this is the community that we live in, and that's what the face of what you should see on stage should be. We also are very conscious of the politics that are happening around us, and I believe completely with every fiber of my being that art can help promote change. That art gives us an opportunity to really talk about who we are in a way that might make it easier for issues to be handled, discussed, gone over, that we provide a platform for people to have civic discourse in a way that is healthy. I think, especially in this climate now where politics has become so us and them, us and them, us and them, that we really want to use the arts as a way to break down the us and them. What does that mean? What is it?
So, leading up to my next question, what exactly is the goal of the Borderlands Theater, you would say?
I would say the goal is to get people talking. That is our goal. We don't put on these productions so that we can say, we're right, you're wrong. That's sort of not the point. We want to provide something else for people to listen to the issues in a different way and be able then to go back to maybe their own communities and talk about it in a slightly more educated way, in a more interested way. I think storytelling is one of the oldest forms of information and education we have as people. So that's what we try to do. We try very hard not to say we are right and you are wrong, or this is right and that is wrong. We just try really hard to give a platform of storytelling to open people's minds up, and make them think about it in a different way, and to talk about it.
Okay, so now I will be asking you specific questions on just broad questions back and forth. Would you agree that theater performance is a powerful medium for expression and transmitting or conveying messages to audiences and different people?
Absolutely. I think all art has the ability to provide us with different ideas on any given issue. That whether that's visual art or dance, painting, performance art, which is a nice, beautiful combination of these different styles, but that all of these mediums have the ability to show us something that we may not have seen otherwise.
Yeah, good answer. All right.
Creative answer.
Yes. All right. In your opinion, what aspects of performance make it successful in conveying these messages?
I think before you share an idea with someone else, that you personally have to be passionate about that idea. There's a big difference to me in performance. You can perform in something that you don't care about and be a really good actor, but I think it's much more meaningful when you have a stake at what is happening on stage, when you are more passionate about the ideas that you're trying to convey. So everything that I do as an actor, I believe in research. I believe in doing a lot of research. I believe in partially trying to live in that character's shoes. I don't think that you want to do it to the point where you lose so much of yourself it's hard to kind of come back. And I think that happens a lot with artists, that you're giving, and occasionally it's kind of really hard to keep yourself safe. But I do think that if you are not invested in what you're doing, it's a tiny bit of a lie. It's sort of, it's empty performance. It doesn't make it necessarily less valid, but it's very different.
That's great. And my last question for you, how do you think theater performance differs from the other types of expression like photography or protest movements? So how is Borderlands set apart? How do you guys stand out, so to say?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is language and the arts. The arts provides us with a different kind of language. And I don't know that it necessarily, that I could quantify it as being something totally different than the other art forms. I think that the arts in general provide us with a different language to talk about social issues. So whether that's, protest is certainly a kind of performance, kind of a performance art. And along with protesting, I think some of the best protests come with a little bit more theater, song, a little dance, a little perhaps interaction with the audience that doesn't want to participate with that march. I think that the more you deepen an experience, any experience, that you are providing another language to talk about civic issues. I think that theater and photography and dance are really kind of this dance of their own. They really kind of go back and forth. There's a certain amount of dance that you're doing regardless of what character you're playing on the stage. How does this particular character move? How does this particular character convey an idea to an audience? Because every character is different. So then your body moves differently as well as that other character. And for me, I see theater as a series of images. It's sort of like image, 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 image. So to me, especially when I'm directing, it feels very much like that I'm looking at a series of images. It's just like a picture, 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 picture. And every time you are looking at one of those pictures, you want it to be just as beautiful and giving as the last picture was. It's just faster. So it's sort of that in-between medium of maybe right before the way we used to think about film. Film really used to be just a series of pictures, right? Picture, picture, picture. And I think that there was more of a similarity before with stage work and film than maybe there is now. But we still shoot a lot of film when we want it to be more deeply different than reality. There's a lot of work on sets now. So I wouldn't say that necessarily the language is different between the different mediums. I would say that each medium provides a different sound to the language to convey an idea.
Wow. Thank you, Alida, for being here and letting us interview you. Is there anything you would like to add, like just wrapping up what Borderlands Theater is? Anything else you would like to say?
Borderlands has a long history in this community, and I hope that we will have a long future with it as well. It's important to us to get feedback. all the time. You can always write us emails. You can talk about what you think is important, what we're missing, what isn't on stage, and we're very, very excited about the rest of this season. Especially in the spring, we have an amazing partnership with the theater company in Mexico City, and we'll be providing readings and 2 performances which have been written on both sides of the border, and we're bringing them together to talk about who we are as different people and the same people.